Hello then boys, this is a very special video on the channel. It's going to be a long one. It's going to be speaking about the journey, the everything of the Mike Ashley era, but we'll also be speaking about Newcastle United as we are as a club now. I am absolutely ecstatic about the recent news, and I can't express it and put it into words, but I'm going to say now this video is going to be an extremely long one. So if you're going to sit through this and listen to my thoughts on Newcastle United, Mike Ashley, going to be speaking about everything and the memories I have under the Mike Ashley era and the stuff that we're going to be looking forward to. Before I say anything, thank you to absolutely everyone who came up to me at the scenes at St James's Park on Thursday night. It was absolutely incredible, and the support people were giving us, it was immense, and I appreciate absolutely every single one of you who came, who spoke, who got a photo. It puts a smile on my face, and it's the reason why I do this. I don't do this for anything else apart from the appreciation of people and me sitting here now speaking, and I can guarantee them people who got a photo with us or whatnot, if they were pissed or not, it does mean the world. And honestly, we'll speak in the video, boys, but for the full video I'm gonna have a smile on my face, and it's generally put an uplift on my life, and knowing what we've got now, it's surreal. It's a surreal moment for the football club. But like I said before, lads, it will be a long video. I'm going to be speaking about everything Newcastle United, the experiences that I've had, everything. And yeah, let's get into it now, boys. Let's get into it, boys, and we'll start off by, we'll go through the whole Mike Ashley era as a Newcastle fan and for myself. So then, let's speak about the Mike Ashley era as a Newcastle United fan. I'm guessing people might be watching this video who are much older than me, who experience the entertainers. I'll go through bit by bit and what I've got as memories as Newcastle United. So I'm born in 2002, I'm 19 years old. I just want to say that now so people understand a little bit from where I'm coming from. So, May the 23rd, 2007, Newcastle United is sold to Mike Ashley from Sir John Hall, and he buys his own of the football club. It's Mike Ashley, it's his brand and it's his business from May the 23rd, 2007. Going into the first season under the Mike Ashley era, it was, you could tell the frustration of fans hit instantly. In that season we finished 12th in the Premier League with manager Sam Allardyce, and then going into the season where it was the start of something. It was shocking, right? 4 games in, I think it was, and Kevin Keegan leaves Newcastle United for the second spell. He comes back as manager after Sam Allardyce has left Mike Ashley. He's came in and he's left. Kevin Keegan, a club legend, and the memories he'll have at the Toon, playing for the Toon and managing the Toon in the Entertainers back in them days, right? He left after 4 or 5 games, and the fans were very frustrated. Protest after the owner was only there 1 year outside the stadium, right next to the players' entrance, and the fans were having their word. Throughout the 2008-9 season, we were performing massively under what we should be. We had Michael Owen up front, who cost us 50 million in 2005. We were trying to do the best possible, and we were just shit. And then on April Fool's Day of the 2008-9 season, Newcastle United are sitting 18th in the Premier League table, and then we go and appoint Alan Shearer, the greatest Premier League striker of all time, the greatest player to ever put on a Newcastle United shirt, puts himself as a manager for Newcastle United, and everyone thought it was fake, but he was the manager. I think it was 1 win, 1 draw, 4 losses. That win came against Middlesbrough in a midweek game, or it was a Monday night game. We won 3-1, I think it was, and that gave us hope going into the last game of the season against Aston Villa, but we all know what happened there. And an own goal by Nicky Butt, I think it was, and Newcastle United were relegated, finished 18th in the Premier League table, and were relegated to the Championship. It was doom and gloom at the club. You seen fans crying in the stadium at Villa Park, and people thought that was it for our football club and the downhill was going to happen. We went into the pre-season after that season and got beat 6-1 to Leyton Orient. 6-1 against Leyton Orient. It was an embarrassment. We were going into the Championship doom and gloom, but luckily Chris Hughton and his boys came out the blue and stung the championship and really just put it to bed. We were promoted back to the championship in April. It was a good season to have. Chris Hughton obviously secured promotion back to the Premier League with Newcastle United. We were back into the Prem, and this is where, for me, this is where I fell in love with Newcastle United, the 2010 to 2011 season. The start of that era, that was me. That's where I started, right? All the stuff that I've said before is through information and what I've watched on documentaries and whatnot, right? All this now is gonna be from what I've experienced as a Newcastle United fan. I bought like my first proper as a full kit. Obviously at this point I'm only 8 years old. This is where I had my first full kit. I had Binks on the back and everything, and it was a 2010-11 season, and we went in that season with a bit of hope. We went into the season wanting to do well, and at the start of the season it wasn't too bad. We picked up results there and there. We were sitting around the mid-table part, and then we lost 3 games in a row, and we got beat to West Bromwich Albion away from home. I think it was 3-1, and Chris Hughton got sacked from the club, which I thought was ridiculous at the time. We bring in Alan Pardew. His first game was against Liverpool in a 3-1 win. Goals from Andy Carroll, Kevin Nolan, Joey Barton and Dirk Kuyt. It was a great game of football, and then obviously, as we all know, Andy Carroll left to Liverpool for 13 million. That was a big statement at Newcastle United at the time. He got a homegrown striker. The next Alan Shearer, people were saying, just leaves us to go to Liverpool, and might actually get to that bid, and he's not going to say no. And then the replacements were just not good enough, but we were lucky enough to stay up that season. The 2010-11 season, we were lucky to stay up, and we stayed up, which is a shame, just going for survival and whatnot. But this is where we built as a group, and the 2011-12 season really was the only highlight of the Mike Ashley era, really, you could say. We finished 5th this season. Some iconic players from that team, and we'll go through them. And even though it's a bad time at Newcastle in the Mike Ashley era, these players will still get remembered day in, day out. Yohan Cabaye, Demba Ba, Papi Cisse, Ben Arfa, R.I.P. Czech Tiote, Fabrizio Colacini, Davide Santon, Tim Krul. We can go on for days about some of these players, and it was a good moment to be a Newcastle United fan. The 2012 season, the Cisse goal against Chelsea, and we got European football, finishing 5th. It was a good season for Newcastle United, and I think Alan Pardew did get manager of the year as well that season. 2012-13 season came round, and we didn't really sign anyone in the summer transfer window. I actually can't even think off the top of my head who we signed. I remember Gal bringing me Mona came in. But apart from that, we didn't really sign anyone. We kept Demba Ba until January. Papi Cisse was offside more times than I shouted fucking we ate Sunderland last night. But 2012-13 season, we focused on Europe a lot, and you can understand that. We done well in Europe that season. We got to the quarterfinals and unfortunately lost to Benfica, and it was a shame. And also in the 2012-13 season, it was where I actually went to my first Newcastle United game. It was against Fulham. We won 1-0 with a 94th minute winner by Papis Demba Cisse, and it was a statement to me, and that's when I fell in love with Newcastle. My first game, the limbs, the 94th minute, and I can still remember me little face with a little mohican with a jet all over me head in the stands, and it was incredible. I was underneath the Fulham fans. It was a surreal moment, and I can still picture it sitting there, the people around us, and that's when I properly fell in love with Newcastle United. The 2013-14 season came round, and we started off the season very, very well. Obviously the 2012-13 season we finished down in the bottom. We were trying to survive. 2013-14 season we had a good start of the season, and then when Yohan Cabaye left, it was doom and gloom. We had a good team then. We had like Remy, we had Yanga Mambiwa, we had a lot of good players. Ben Arfa was still good at the time, and all of a sudden it just went downhill, and we finished off that season quite poorly. In that season I went to one game as a fan. It was when we played Everton. We got beat 3-0. That's when Ross Barkley was on fire, Romelu Lukaku, and I think Osman scored the last goal to win it for them 3-0. But it was a weird season. We started the season so well. We beat Chelsea. We beat Man United at Old Trafford. The only time we've beaten them at Old Trafford in the Premier League era. It was a weird season. It was, and the next season was was when he started to come out and Mike Ashley just finally started to say stuff towards the end of the season. The 14-15 season it was. We massively underperformed that season, and we done well at the start. We were mid-table. We beat teams like Everton 3-2 on the 28th of December. We were winning games there and there, but it wasn't what we expected. We couldn't beat Sunderland, which is a shame. From the 2012-13 season to this point, we still haven't beaten them. We got beat every single game from that point, and that's where they got the 6 in the row. And going into your local derbies, we weren't winning games. As Newcastle United, we weren't winning games, and the 14-15 season was a weird one. John Carver said, "I'm the best coach in the Premier League. You won 2 games in the space of 19 or 20 or something daft like that." It was fucking shit. We went into the last game of the season, and then Mike Ashley came out and spoke to Sky Sports and basically said all these words, and he's not going to leave Newcastle before we win a trophy. Sorry about that. Anyways, Mike Ashley came out and said these words, and he was the best for the football club and all this and all that, but it was pure bollocks. He got forced into them press conference, he got forced into them interviews for Sky Sports, and he didn't want to be there, and he couldn't give a fuck about the football club. We could have got relegated that day. Hull City, under Steve Bruce, got relegated that day. I can't remember who they played, but we obviously beat West Ham 2-0, goals from Musa Sissoko and Jonas Gutierrez, and we finished the season in 15th above Sunderland. But yet again, it was a disappointing season. It was a highlight for Jonas Gutierrez. Obviously he had cancer and he recovered, came back, and it was a surreal moment for the football club, having a player who was there for a long time, unfortunately gets cancer, comes back, and to show his willingness to even play football again, for him to score the winner against West Ham to secure survival for Newcastle United. That put a statement on Jonas Gutierrez, and he'll be a club legend at the football club. The 15-16 season came round. We appointed Steve fucking McLaren as our head coach. We signed some good players. Gini Wijnaldum, obviously now playing with Lionel Messi and Champions League and Premier League winner. Alexander Mitrovic at the time, only 20 years old, a young Mitro, now smashing it for Fulham. Chancellor Mbemba, Champions League centre-back for FC Porto. Tovan, World Cup winner, and now World Cup winner, Newcastle, didn't work out. It was a weird season. We started off the season very, very poorly. We got who was our first win that season? It was against Norwich. The 6-2 win. I was at that game. The vlog's on the channel. A young Binks and a young Josh there. It was a weird season. The 15-16 season. You would think with the team we had, right? Tim Krul and goal, Jan Matt, and then 2 centre-backs, Colaccini with Chancellor Mbemba, Paul Dummett left-back, centre-mid Sissoko, Wijnaldum, you had Tovan, you had Mbabu as well at the club, you had Ivan Toney at the club. Now look at them players. We had a good team, and we got relegated. Rafa Benitez came in March 2016, but he didn't have enough to survive the club, and we were relegated after Sunderland beat Everton 3-0. And we obviously were relegated to the Championship for the second time under the Mike Ashley era. The 16-17 season, we were in the Championship, but it's in my heart. It's in my heart. It was the first time I properly focused on Newcastle United videos, and this is where the journey started for myself. And yes, we were in the Championship, and yes, we were playing some shit teams, but it was a rebuild, and it was a rebuild that needed to happen. So many memories throughout the season, and you can see them all on the channel. It's such a surreal moment. I met so many good people through that year. Obviously meeting Rob, meeting on Sky Sports that year. The Championship was a surreal moment, and it was the moment where I knew this was me life. I fell in love with Newcastle over the years, but this was me life. My first season ticket, first doing the vlogs. I ended the season on about 1.2k. When I hit 1,000 subs, it was such a surreal moment, and it helped as well with the Championship, obviously, because no one can find highlights or whatever. So I'm doing these vlogs, and it helped the channel, and it was a weird season, obviously being in the Championship and whatnot, and with Newcastle United, but obviously we just got to focus on what happened, and we were promoted back to the Premier League. We won the title at the end, and there was a rebuild and it worked, and you have to say it did work. We went into the 17-18 season as the 125th anniversary of the football club, and we started the season really poorly, and then Rafa Benitez, the magic man himself, stole the show. He stole the show, signing players like Kennedy on loan, Martin Dubravka on loan, and we finished the season in 10th, top of the table, top half of the league. And when you put in a statement like that, top half of the league, if you told me that when we got beat to Arsenal, when we went to 18th in the league, it was a mad season, the 17-18 season. So many memories that stick with us day in, day out. And it was a year where I was doing my GCSEs, and it was like I wanted to stay and do loads of Newcastle videos and whatnot, but I had to focus on other stuff. And now it's like getting to the point where I can just focus on Newcastle, and do the videos, and it's my main priority before most things in life. And that's the thing that connects us with this football club. It's because I don't do the videos because I've got to do them. I do them because I enjoy them. And you see in times where I've taken breaks and whatnot because I physically had to, because the football club was just mentally draining myself and my mental health. We'll go on to the seasons when this has happened, but the 17-18 season, we finished the season in 10th, and it was a great season at the football club, and it was a one to remember. That's when we had to build. We've just been promoted back from the Championship. The squad depth is like that. The squad tightness is there. We've just finished 10th, and we had the most pathetic transfer window I've ever seen in my life at the start of the 18-19 season. Rondon on loan, Muto, Fernandes, Fabi Shaw, Martin Dubravka on a permanent. They are good players, right? But it was an embarrassment. We spent about 20 million. It was beyond a joke, and we should have built. And this is where all the protests started again for Mike Ashley outside the stadium, trying to get our word across, getting the paper banners up in the stadium saying United against Ashley, and all this kicked off, and it was a surreal, mad season. At this point as well, we still haven't broken our transfer record until the 18-19 season, which shows a statement of Mike Ashley, how much of an embarrassment he was at the football club. We've spent averagely 9 million per season under Mike Ashley. It's an embarrassment. It was. And finally, we broke our transfer window budget, what you want to call it, our transfer record with Miggy. Still at the club now, still performing when he can, but the 18-19 season was a weird one. We were protesting and whatnot. We were protesting against before the Man City game, and we went on to win that game. And I'm telling you now, if we did not have Rafa Benitez for the 18-19 season, we would have got relegated. We were getting takeover news during that season. It was just not going to happen. We went into the January transfer window, and who did we get? We got Miggy and Barek, and that was it. We didn't really do much, and we finished 13th that season, which you would take. And it was the moment where the club started to just drain. What I mean by that was, it was a surreal moment. Rafa Benitez left Newcastle United. I've sat in this chair in the exact same position, and I couldn't process it. I was like, this is the end of Newcastle United. I sat in this chair and cried. I couldn't record that video again for the Rafa Benitez leave video. I couldn't sit here and record it. And this is where I thought the downfall of the club was going to start. And we didn't sign anyone for a very long time, and the 11th of July 2019, Steve Bruce was appointed as Newcastle United manager. And for me, it's one of the worst highlights, the big highlights I've seen as a Newcastle fan. One of the worst in the Mike Ashley era. And I don't know what you meant to do. I don't know what you meant to say. It was a moment where you thought it would be Harvey's, because I said that. I thought he can't be this bad. Can't be this bad. We started off the 19-20 season with a very poor two first games, getting beat to Arsenal and Norwich, but we did beat Spurs, and that was a surreal moment. Joe Linton scored. Obviously, I've got to say, we signed SAINT-MAXIMNIN, one of the greatest players we've had at this football club. and he still loves it. Still love him. I still love him more. Will love him more than what I already have and did when he first signed. But the 1920 season, obviously, we all know the pandemic hit as well during that season, and we finished that season 13th, and it was like, oh well, Steve Bruce, oh well, because I finished 13th, I finished 13th. It wasn't like that. It fucking was not like that. The thing about Mike Ashley as well, he had to give Steve Bruce a little bit more money than what he did to Rafa Benitez, right? Because he knew he had to get the balance right. He knew he could survive with Rafa Benitez, get loans, and he's fucked off. He's like, shit. He's appointed Steve Bruce, cost him about 7 million or whatever it was. Give him money for Joe Linton. Obviously, we did sell Perez and whatnot in that transfer window, but it was still more money than Rafael Benitez got. And Steve Bruce was very fortunate to get the transfer funds that he got and got the loan players that he got. Very fortunate he was, and probably the reason why we looked at our recent and whatnot. But obviously the fans were not happy, and we were not happy. Going into the 2021 season, we had a slight positive transfer window. We signed Ryan Fraser, Callum Wilson, and them two players alone are good. They are good players. Callum Wilson, obviously the number 9 at Newcastle United at the minute, but obviously COVID and whatnot. It got to after West Brom at home during the COVID season, when we won 2-1. After that, it was the darkest time of my life, and for most Newcastle fans' life. We didn't feel like I was supporting the club. We couldn't go to games, and we won. It was, I don't even know. I don't even want to know. During the whole Christmas period, all of January, we didn't win one match. And I was sitting here and I was so sick of recording videos. We lost to the worst team in Europe. We lost to Brentford in the Carabao Cup quarterfinals, and for me, it was depressing. And I'm gonna be honest, boys, I was depressed. I didn't want to sit here and record videos. I didn't. I hated it, right? But I knew the support and whatnot was too good just to sit here and not do it. I thought stuff that I would never think in my life, and it was a hard couple of months. Even when we did get that win against Everton and whatnot, it was a hard time. Couldn't go out and see anyone. Newcastle United were awful. We were a disgrace to the Premier League in the 2021 season, and we're lucky to finish 12th. Extremely lucky. Because of a lad from North London, we finished 12th, and it was an embarrassment. It really was. The way I felt as a person during that season, I fell out of love with football. I really did, and it didn't help because of COVID. And I'm not blaming all that on Newcastle for the way I felt. I'm blaming it on everything. COVID, how bad Newcastle United were, and it was a shit time in my life. It really was, and I wasn't there mentally. I was struggling in work, and I wasn't the same person to what I am to this day. I'm not. The change in the space of 6 months, half a year, is ridiculous. It really was. And sitting there struggling every day, and it wasn't something that I enjoyed whatsoever. I really didn't. And most part of it was because of Newcastle United, and there were times where I thought, do I quit YouTube, do I stop? And luckily I haven't, because I wouldn't have shared these experiences, what I'm feeling now, on YouTube if I stopped it because of some fat cabbage fucker. It was a hard time, and I'm happy I've got through it, and I'm happy that I'm happy again, because that's all that really matters in anyone's life. If you're happy, it's all that matters. I wasn't happy, and I had to change something. What changed was the football club got Joe Willock on loan, and he could have won the games. Got 7 goals in 7, and that was the uplift of Newcastle United for me. If we didn't sign Joe Willock, I don't even know if we would have got this takeover, because we could have got relegated. Maxi out injured constantly, Callum Wilson out injured constantly that season. It was such a disappointment, and the way I felt and the way I just didn't enjoy doing the videos. It was, you could probably watch back and look how sad and how just dull that sounded. The reason why I wanted to say, right, can I fix the way I felt? This is why I bought this camera. I don't know if I would have spent the money I've bought on the camera I'm recording on now if Newcastle United were alright. But I wanted to come back into it and love it. Love cameras, love YouTube, love streaming, doing all the technical stuff. I love it. It's my life, and this is what I thought. So obviously I'm happy now. I'm in a much better place, and I'm a better person, and this takeover is the one thing I've only wanted. I've seen everyone speak about the entertainers' days. I've seen everyone speak about the Shearer, the Ginolas, the Les Ferdinands, everyone that was there. I wasn't born to experience it, right? To now, we are the richest club in the universe is mind blowing. It really is. From 6 months ago, where I'm in my bed, overthinking everything, and constantly just feel like shit, to be honest with you boys, right? To then now, that Thursday night, the best night of my life, guaranteed. Nothing's topping that, mate. A surreal moment for myself and for every Newcastle United fan, and it feels like we're back, and we're not a team. We're not fans determine wins. We're not a team determine, right, we need Champions League. We want to win the Premier League. We want this. We want a team that shows ambition. We want a team that shows that we want to try. And so far, the 2 days where Amanda Staveley's been here has shown more ambition in 48 hours than Mike Ashley did in 14 years at the football club. And that's the difference. That is the difference. We're no little club. Champions League football, we've been there. European football, we've been there. Top 4, we've been there. Right? We've wanted it. And obviously this is a surreal moment for us, and I never experienced it to happen. But I would have took anyone over Mike Ashley, who's just showed a little bit of ambition. You see, like the Brighton own and the Brentford own are doing so well, right? Even if we're at their level of ambition as a football club, for the size that we are, but we are the richest club in the world, and that's the thing. We are 15 times more rich than fucking PSG. They have got Messi, Ramos, Donnarumma, Hakimi, the Mbappe, Neymar, the fucking lot. We are 15 times more richer than them. That is the thing that hasn't still processed my mind. I still can't understand the fact that we are the richest club in the world, and not by whatever, right? We are nearly over 10 times richer than Man City. They've spent 100 million on Jack Grealish, just gone. And it's not just Jack Grealish they've signed everyone. The squad depth that they've got is ridiculous. Knowing that that's going to be us is going to be a surreal and an immense moment, and the best thing about it, it's going to be a journey. It's going to be a journey for the football club. It's going to be a journey for fans to follow, and it's what we've asked for too many years, literally. I don't want us to go and sign everyone next transfer window and be like, oh, Mbappe, Neymar, Pedri, every single cunt, Van Dijk will have you, De Bruyne will have you, because it'll be nice. Don't get us wrong, it'll be nice. But everyone will be like, oh, you're buying the league, what? No, you're fake. You've got fake fans, and that's what I don't want. I want a progression. If we can stay up this season, finish 12th with a positive year, because we've had a poor start of the season, I think we will finish much higher. I think we will finish top half of the season now. If we can get top 7 the season after, Champions League, and then go for the Premier League title. And that's the thing that we want. We want ambition. We want a progression. Not 70th or above for 14 years, right? We want someone to go from here to here to here to here, and that's what the thing that we are going to be having under Amanda Staveley and everyone that's been involved in the football club at the minute now. Get the Sports Direct signs down. Get the stadium band spanking new. fresh toilets, fresh screens, fresh everything, clean the fucking place, right? I'm sure Amanda's got people who could do a beautiful job of the stadium and hopefully get it prepared for the Spurs game. It's going to be a surreal moment going to that Spurs game, but it is a surreal moment to be a Newcastle United fan at the minute. I can't process it. I really can't. It's constantly in my mind, and it's mad to think that, because the amount of love I've gave this football club, I've made over 1,000 YouTube videos on this football club. It's my life, and it always has, and it always will be. And knowing that we are going to be the richest club in the world, no, we are the richest club in the world. Fact, sealed, paper signed, right? We are the richest club in the world. And you've got them Mackin bastards in League One. Honestly, man, it's just such a surreal moment. And hopefully I'm going to look back at this video probably in 5 years time, since starting YouTube, so it'll be a decade, right? I want to look back at that video, I want to look back at my first vlog, look back at this video, right, and look where I am in 5 years time, and look where Newcastle United are in 5 years time, right? I'm going to have this as the first clip of if we win the Premier League title, right? This is Jordan Binks on the 8th of October 2021. See you in 5 years, because I want to see the progression of the football club, and what I'm expecting is what I said before, a progression, right? If we can see that, in every sort of way, academy, stadium, training ground, fans, the stadium, just everything, right? If I can see a progression, that's all that matters, right? We are the richest club in the world. We are going to be hopefully one of the biggest clubs in the world in coming years, and this is such a surreal moment for all Newcastle United fans, and I'm delighted to be going on this journey with many people, and the support on the channel, and all the fans and all the boys and everyone. It's going to be a surreal moment, boys, and you'll have videos more than ever now, because I'm not going to be depressed. I'm not going to be doing these shitty rants. I'll speak about the games after. I'm still going to do that, or whatever I do, or whatever, right? But the rants are there to show my thoughts. I never, and I mean never, fake a video. I can hand on heart swear down on my granddad's ashes, I've never faked a video for views. Never, right? The way I react in stadiums, people go, oh, it's embarrassing and whatnot, and I might squeal like a little bitch, right? I couldn't give a fuck, because that's the way I feel in that moment about whatever I'm watching, about what I'm saying with my own eyes. If I'm seeing Miggy scoring his first goal for the club, right, being so connected to him as a player, right, I don't give a fuck if I squeal like a little bitch. Couldn't give a fuck. In the rants, like your Sheffield United one and Brentford one, I've reacted like that because that's how I felt. And knowing now, we're probably not, you're not going to see that side of Binksy for a long time, for a very long time, and it's going to be a shame, because I know he gives all of the rants, he gives all of us going vag, but it looks like it's going to be coming to an end. Yeah, I might be disappointed after we lose a game or whatever, but it's not going to be like what we are. I'm not going to be shouting at Steve Bruce, making titles going Steve Bruce out. I'm not, because Newcastle United are fucking back. Lads, it's been a long one, an extremely long video today, but I feel like I've had a day and I haven't sat down and done a talk video like this in ages. And it's not just a couple of things we've went over my lifetime as a Newcastle fan and what I'm expecting as a football club and the owners, and honestly, such a surreal moment. It is incredible to say that we are the richest club in the world and we've got rid of Mike Ashley and hopefully Steve Bruce in the coming days. It is absolutely an incredible moment, boys. I want to say thank you for all the support on Thursday night, and thank you for all the support on the channel and the views and whatever. The Instagram post got loads of likes and everything, but this is the end, boys, of this long video. I'm going to look back at this when we hopefully win the Premier League title, when we hopefully win the Champions League in coming years, and I'll see you all in the next one, boys. See yous. Have a good one, boys. My club, Newcastle United. See yous in the next one, boys. Have a good one.